Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Are we so excited that it's September? Because I am. I already got my big comfy cardigan. It's brand new. And I am ready for some fall weather, some fall reads, and Halloween and my birthday in general. So I read 10 books in the month of August. Pretty good if you ask me. I have a brand new favorite book that I am excited to talk about, as well as I think I had a lot of 4s and 5s here. While we're talking about it, why don't we scroll down and look at my ratings. So I'll pop it up here. For the month of August, I had 1 5-star read. I'm looking at September. Spoilers. Cut the clip. Okay, my bad. Pippa has joined us. I was actually looking at September. So for August, we have 3 5-star reads, 3 4-star reads, 2 3.5-star, and 2 3 stars. So everything was either average or really, really good, which is exciting. 6 of these authors I had read before, and 2 of them were new to me. 2 of them were debut. So technically 4 were new authors to me. Genre-wise, I had 1 contemporary, 4 mysteries, a nonfiction, 2 romances, and 2 thrillers. I had 9 audiobooks and 1 ebook that I read on my Kindle. Excuse you. As for the audiences, I had 7 adult books, 1 middle grade, and 2 YA. I physically read 58 pages, which was the Kindle book, and then I listened to 92 hours, which is a little above average for me, it looks like. But why don't we move into the books? All right, I hate to get this girly out of the way first because she was the best book that I read this month, being Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This shit is so good. If you guys, and listen, I don't think, have I read any other sports romances? I don't think so. This, good, really good. 5 stars, 5, 10, 100 stars, whatever she wants. In this book, we are following Stassi. They call her Stassi in the book. Stassi, who is a figure skater and wants to compete in the Olympics. And this is a college romance. And then Nate, who is the captain of the hockey team. And one of the hockey boys does something to piss off a fellow hockey team, and so that team comes and like messes up one of the rinks that they have. So because of that, the hockey team and the figure skating team have to like work together and like work out a schedule to work around each other. And the 2 of them fall in love, and it was so freaking cute and spicy and like so wholesome and so healthy too. Like for the most part, every time, like just wait until we get to one of the later books. That was not a healthy relationship compared to these 2. These 2 are, whenever we had disagreements, I feel like we handled it, like, for the most part, really healthy, like. The only thing that I didn't super love about this book was, Stassi's relationship with her fellow, like, her partner, in the figure skating competition. I understand why they had the relationship that they did and why that like makes the characters and stuff, and we need conflict. But that man, didn't like him. If you are looking for a romance, 10 out of 10, would recommend. We have At Bertram's Hotel by Agatha Christie. This one is one of the Miss Marples. I don't know which one. We're almost finished with the series. In this one, Miss Marple goes to Bertram's Hotel in London, and she just goes on a little vacation. And some things happen with the other guests, and there's like a chain of events that take place because one thing happened and then another thing happened. Yeah, it's a classic Agatha Christie mystery. I rated this 3 stars. One of the more forgettable ones, to be quite honest, but the cover is my favorite cover of all the ones that there are. One thing I will say about this, and the next book after this is Nemesis, which I have started, very loosely started. Sometimes just listen to it to fall asleep, and then I have to restart it anyway, because I don't remember anything. But one thing about, like, towards the end of this, and very prominent in Nemesis so far, Miss Marple is getting a little elderly, okay? Like, she's like starting to forget things that she normally wouldn't forget, and like just becoming an older woman. And I will say it's kind of sad. It is making me a little sad thinking, because I only have 2, I have 2 more. I have Nemesis and then Sleeping Murder, or is that what it's even called? I don't know. And then I have the short story collection, and then I'm done with the Miss Marple series, which is crazy to say, but yeah, not a favorite. On to another, unfortunately not a favorite. This is the other 3-star of the month, Solitaire by Alice Oseman. Didn't really like this. Honestly, I think a 3 was pretty generous. I'm really sorry to say that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't expecting like a 5-star necessarily, but I was expecting at least a 4. This one is Alice Oseman's first novel, so I'm gonna give her some credit for that. This is following Tori, who, if you've read Heartstopper, is not Nick and Charlie, but Charlie's sister is Tori. And this is Tori's story. So this book takes place during Heartstopper 4, which, if you've read that, deals a lot with Charlie having an eating disorder and OCD. And so that is talked about in this, as well as, I like the little author's note that they added in this new edition. Contains references to suicide, suicide attempts, suicidal ideation, self-harm, depression, eating disorders, and obsessive compulsive behaviors. And then later on the page, she goes into saying that Solitaire may not be suitable for all the readers who have enjoyed Heartstopper, which I think is a very important thing to say, because Heartstopper, for the most part, with the exception of Volume 4, is super cutesy, lovey-dovey. I mean, obviously, there's undertones of other things going on, but like that's the gist of it. Everyone's kind of like, aw, little sweeties. And this book is much, much darker, and for someone to go from Heartstopper to this, it could be very jarring. So I'm glad that that was included. In this one, Tori is a high schooler, and she doesn't feel the same passion for things that she used to. She doesn't feel as close to her friends as she used to. Everything just kind of feels pointless to her. And then one day she finds a sticky note with the name Solitaire on it, and she follows it, and it turns out it's like this club, kind of. It's like this group is a better word. This group at her school, or person who is trying to do something. Honestly, also, this cover is not my favorite. I think Tori looks cute on the cover, and I think the guys on the back look cute, because look at those guys, Nick and Charlie. But this, it makes sense after I've read the book now, but it's kind of ugly. Sorry to say. Yeah, I just didn't feel connected to the story. I didn't feel connected to Tori whatsoever. Not much else to say. It was kind of boring. The next book that I have here is 3.5 stars, and it is Aggie Morton Mystery Queen, The Body Under the Piano by Martha Jocelyn. Not sure. I don't know how you say her name. This is so cute. This is about Aggie Morton, and she is based off of Agatha Christie, and the author kind of talks about how she pictures what Agatha Christie would have been like when she was a kid, which is cute. And what would Agatha Christie, Aggie Morton, do if she found a body under the piano? It is middle grade. I will say it did feel a little bit long for what it was, but I think Aggie was a really cute character. And then she also has, Hector Poirot is what this little boy's name is, and that's like her friend. So I thought it was a really cute middle grade mystery book. Up next, a book that got a lot of screen time in my recent reading vlog, The Only One Left by Riley Sager. This was a 4-star read. I think it's pretty good. I think if you've read his other books, you would probably like this one too. In this one, we are following this girl who's like a PCA caregiver for an old woman who was accused of like killing her entire family 60, 70 some years ago. She doesn't talk anymore. She like had a stroke. She doesn't walk. She can't move. And so our main character is gonna go like do all her meds, be her caregiver, help feed her, all the basic stuff. And the last girl who was a caregiver gave, be helpful if I could remember their names. Lenora Hope. That's the old lady who was accused of killing her family. Her last caregiver gave her a typewriter so that she could type out the story of her life and like if she actually killed her family or not. Very gothic, spooky house on the edge of a cliff vibes. Next, a romance that is not as healthy as The Icebreaker Couple, Twisted Hate by Ana Huang. This is the third book in the Twisted series. This one we're following Josh and Jules. Josh is Ava's brother, who Ava's the main character in the first Twisted book. And Jules is Ava's best friend. So it's like brother's best friend's sister, or best friend's brother, sister's best friend. A lot of willpower to remember words. This was a 4-star, unfortunately. I mean, 4 is still a good rating. It's just not as good as the first and second book, in my opinion. In my opinion, so far, I haven't read the fourth one quite yet. The second book is the best, and then the first one, and then this one. I did like we got a cameo of Ava and her, spoiler, fiance. So that was really cute. I really liked that. I just love when all the girlies are together and they're all talking and like, it just really gives like wholesome friend group vibes. In this one, Jules is studying the bar, or studying for the bar. I don't know what the wording for that would be. And Josh is a resident doctor at a hospital. And the two are both like volunteering or something, volunteering / working for the student health center, I think. And they have like a forced proximity, and then they kind of have like a, you're pretty attractive, do you want to be friends with benefits, why not type of thing. Yeah, I thought it was pretty steamy. Like I said, just not as great as the first 2 books. The next book is The Black Queen by Jumada Emile. In this one, we are following 2 different perspectives from 2 different girls who are both in connection with Nova, who was the first Black homecoming queen at this racist ass town school. I said what I said. I also talked a lot about this in my reading vlog as well, which I'll have linked up above if you guys want to check that out. But in this one, we are following Tinsley, who is the white girl who was supposed to be homecoming queen, and Duchess, who was Nova's best friend. And we are kind of teaming up to figure out who actually killed Nova, because right now everyone thinks Tinsley did it because she got super drunk and her friends recorded her on TikTok basically saying, I'm gonna kill her. 12 hours later, she was killed, and exactly in the spot that the white girl said she was gonna be. Kind of sus. I think the mystery aspect of this was pretty good, but this book, which I was kind of picking up on it, and then especially reading through some of the reviews, I was like, oh, actually it does that a lot. Makes you go on this journey with Tinsley to make her like feel better about being racist and like being a changed person and like crying a lot. Okay, the mystery aspect of this was good, but if you do pick it up, just know that it does kind of sympathize with the racist white girl a little bit. Next, I have another 5-star, Mirror Lake by Juno Black. This is the third Shady Hollow book. If you guys haven't picked up this series yet and you want like a cozy mystery mixed with Zootopia, pick it up, please. It's so good. It's just witty, it's cute, it's nice and, I mean, that doesn't look short. It's pretty short. They're fast reads. This one, we are following Vera Vixen, who is our main character as always. She's a fox living in Shady Hollow, and she is a news reporter. Well, in this one, we have an election coming up. And so the guy who runs the newspaper is like, oh, Vera, I need you to write a paper on this election. But this lady comes into the town. She lives somewhere in the town. I don't know where she lives. But she comes like into the middle of all the action and is like, that man right there is not real. Just like that TikTok lady. You guys know what I'm talking about. Well, she is convinced that the man standing next to her, who is her husband, everyone's like, that's your husband. She's like, that's not my husband. That's not him. I don't know who that is. It's not my husband. And so that's what the mystery of this one circles around. I will say this one, out of all of them so far, has been the most predictable, at least for me as someone who reads mystery thrillers a lot, but I still thought it was super fun and cute. And also in this one, there is a character who is an author, and he is like, he's so self-absorbed. He's like, thinks he's hot shit, basically. And he really reminds me of, oh my gosh, the guy from Harry Potter, Locke. I can't think of what his name is. Give me a second. Lockwood. I don't think that's his name. I don't know what his name is, but the author in this book, he's like a wolf, I think. He really reminds me of the guy from Harry Potter. I wish I could remember what his name was. It's gonna drive me nuts. Bradley Marvel. Bradley Marvel is the name of the wolf in this book, who's the author. But yeah, super fun, cute, cozy mystery. Next, I will just keep going with the Shady Hollow books because I read Evergreen Chase by Juno Black as well. This is a short story novella that takes place after Mirror Lake. This one was a 4-star. It was pretty good. I do wish, I mean, it was only like 50 some pages, however many pages I read this month, 52, 58. I wish I had a little bit more sustenance, but I understand it's a short story, so I'll give her credit for that, so that's fine. In this one, it centers around Christmas time, and they have this tradition that they all like cut down this special tree and put it up in the middle of town square, and then they decorate it and stuff with each individual like personalized objects. And the tree gets stolen the night before it's supposed to go up. So that's what this one kind of centers on. But like I said, I wish it was just a little bit longer. And ladies and gentlemen, the last book that I have here, another 5-star, highly recommend. What Doesn't Kill You: A Life with Chronic Illness, Lessons from a Body in Revolt by Tessa Miller. This is such a good read. Eye-opening and educational, informational, all of the above. This one, we are following Tessa. It's a nonfiction memoir, and she is talking about her life with being diagnosed and living with Crohn's disease, which is a chronic illness. There's no cure for it, but I learned so much from this book. I thought it was done super well. Also the cover, cutie. I have had this book on my TBR since it came out in 2021. Sorry, this year is 2023. I've had it on my TBR since 2021, just as just so I could remember it. And I'm so glad that I finally got to pick it up because it was such a good read. I have like thought about this book. I won't say every single day since I finished reading it, but when I finished reading it, I went to work and then I started telling people a bunch of the stuff that I had learned in the book, which I'm a nurse, so I guess it makes sense that I would be talking about this stuff anyway. But especially if you're looking for chronic illness representation or just want to learn more about it, educate yourself, I think this was a super good book to do that. And that concludes my August wrap up. I read quite a few books, like I said. I had a lot of good hits. So I hope it continues into September. I hope I can get to some spooky, cozy books this month. Let me know what you guys read in August, and let me know what you plan on picking up for now that we're getting into fall, even though it doesn't necessarily feel like it quite yet. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Over and out.